Everyone thought Superman was DC's biggest movie of the decade. They were wrong.
Oh, completely wrong.
Tomorrow, a brand new hero arrives, and she might be more powerful, more dangerous, and honestly more emotional than anything DC has ever made.
Yeah, it's a massive shift.
Today I'm going to tell you exactly why Supergirl 2026 is about to change everything. And you're going to want to stay till the end because the twist in this movie story will absolutely shock you.
It really will.
So, welcome to today's deep dive. We are unpacking a super fascinating source document today. It's this analysis called Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow in the new DC era.
Right, which really breaks down the architectural survival of this whole multi-billion-dollar universe.
Exactly. And our mission today is to figure out exactly why this upcoming 2026 Supergirl film is basically holding the weight of the entire superhero cinema landscape on its shoulders.
I mean, it really is. It's not just a movie, it's a test.
Right, because we have this core paradox, you know? For decades, people thought of Supergirl as this sunny, cheerful female clone of Superman.
The cheerleader with heat vision.
Yeah, exactly. But this version, she has been completely reinvented into an angry, broken girl on a revenge mission.
Which is such a wild departure from the standard playbook. What's fascinating here is that to understand this, you really have to tear down what you think you know about Kara Zor-El.
Right. Most people think Supergirl is just a female version of Superman. But they are completely wrong.
Completely.
Supergirl's real name, Kara Zor-El, is actually Superman's cousin. And here's the crazy part that the source talks about. She is the proper owner of Krypto the Superdog.
Which completely changes the dynamic.
Wait, okay, let's unpack this. Because the whole female Superman myth is everywhere. It's like a restaurant taking the same dish, slapping a new label on it, and expecting everyone to clap.
Right, just a palette swap.
Yeah. But I have to push back on this Krypto thing for a second.
Okay, go for it.
A Superdog sounds like a super cartoonish happy element, right? Like, how does a cute flying Superdog fit into a dark intergalactic revenge quest?
I know, it sounds totally incompatible.
It sounds like it ruins the tone.
But that's exactly why it works. What's fascinating here is the juxtaposition. You take this broken, angry character, and you pair her with an inherently pure creature like a dog.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it dramatically heightens the emotional stakes. Krypto is her grounding empathy.
So he's not just there for comedy.
No, not at all. While she's engaging in this brutal, dark mission, the dog emphasizes her humanity.
That makes sense. But let's look at the idea of ownership here. Because taking Krypto away from Superman and giving him to Kara, that feels like a huge shift in the DC power dynamic.
It fundamentally shifts the emotional weight of the whole universe.
How so?
Well, think about Superman. He was a baby when Krypton exploded, right?
That he doesn't really remember it.
Exactly. He lost a world he never actually knew. But Kara was older.
Oh, wow, yeah.
She actually watched her entire civilization burn. She lived through an apocalypse. So for her, Krypto isn't just a fun pet.
He's a survivor.
Yes. Krypto is a surviving piece of her home. He's the only other living being who truly understands what she lost.
That is so dark.
Yeah.
But it totally makes sense as two refugees clinging to each other.
Exactly. And that shared trauma is why this intergalactic adventure quickly turns into a quest for revenge.
Which is such a huge pivot from a happy hero to a broken one. And if she's changing that drastically, we have to talk about the blueprint for this movie.
Right, Tom King comic.
Yeah, the movie is heavily inspired by Tom King's comic Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
Which the source defines as one of the darkest, most emotional superhero stories ever written.
Yeah, she's explicitly described as not a perfect hero, but a real one. She's angry, she's broken. This is not a happy hero. This is a girl on a mission for revenge, right? But here's where it gets really interesting to me, just from a Hollywood business standpoint.
Okay.
Superhero movies are usually these massive billion-dollar investments, right? They're built on selling hope, perfection.
The Boy Scout model.
Exactly. So isn't building a giant tentpole movie around an angry, broken protagonist on a dark revenge mission, isn't that an insane financial risk?
Well, this raises an important question about audience fatigue.
Like, people are tired of perfect heroes.
Yeah, totally. The source points out that a perfect hero is basically unrelatable now. We've seen 20 years of morally flawless paragons who never make a bad choice.
Right. They're statues.
Exactly. An angry, grieving survivor on a revenge mission connects directly with what modern audiences actually want. They want complex, flawed protagonists.
Because life is complex and flawed.
Precisely. And we have to look at the thematic weight of revenge versus justice here.
Oh, that's a great point. Because Superman seeks justice.
Right. Justice is objective. It's about fairness.
But revenge is selfish. It's messy.
It alters the entire moral compass of the DC universe. You're asking the audience to root for someone who might actually be doing the wrong thing, but for reasons we deeply understand.
Yeah, she's grieving, so we get why she's lashing out. But dealing with a protagonist this dark and this complicated, you can't just hand that to a standard blockbuster director.
No, absolutely not. You need someone who specializes in volatility.
Which brings us to the Gillespie factor. The film is directed by Craig Gillespie.
Right.
And the source really highlights his specific pedigree. He directed I, Tanya, and Cruella.
2 films entirely about fierce, complicated women.
Right, so I look at Gillespie like a chef who exclusively cooks with ghost peppers, you know?
That's a great analogy.
He thrives on these controversial, highly volatile female leads. But I have to ask, if Gillespie treated Tanya Harding and Cruella DeVille as these deeply misunderstood, traumatized anti-heroes,
Yeah.
what does he do with an alien who has the power of a literal god?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, his hiring signals a total genre shift.
Like moving away from just giant CGI punch fests.
Exactly. The source implies Supergirl won't feel like your standard CGI slugfest. It's going to be an intense psychological character study.
Just disguised as an intergalactic action film.
Exactly. This combination is unlike anything DC has done before. He brings an indie sensibility to a massive cosmic budget.
Which forces a total reinvention of the cinematic language for superheroes. It's not about buildings falling down. It's about what's going on in her head while she's burning to death.
Right, the internal stakes are higher than the external ones.
But you can't have a fiercely complicated, unhinged protagonist without an equally dangerous obstacle in her path.
Oh, and they definitely found one.
They really did.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa plays the villain, Lobo.
Which is just incredible casting.
It is. The source describes Lobo as one of the most brutal, violent, and insane characters in DC history. Fans have been waiting years to see Momoa play this
He
role.
was absolutely born for it.
From everything we've seen, yeah. But let me play devil's advocate for a second.
Sure.
Supergirl is already angry, broken, and out for blood.
Right.
Lobo is brutal, violent, and completely insane. If everyone in this movie is violently unhinged, do we risk losing the emotional core? Like, does it just become a brutal bloodbath? Where is the contrast?
I see what you mean, but the contrast isn't in the level of violence, it's in the nature of it.
What do you mean?
Lobo's insanity and unpredictability, they act as the perfect mirror and foil to Kara.
Okay, break that down for me.
Kara's revenge is focused, it's calculated, it's rooted in deep trauma.
She has a specific mission.
Exactly. Lobo, on the other hand, represents the ultimate chaos of the universe. He's violent because it's funny to him.
Oh, wow. So he's treating it like a joke, and she's treating it like a funeral.
Precisely.
Yeah.
He challenges her specific mission just by existing. He's a walking reminder that the universe is random and cruel.
That's fascinating. And it makes Momoa the perfect ultimate test for Millie Alcott's Supergirl.
Oh, definitely.
Because, you know, she already proved herself alongside David Corenswet in Superman 2025.
Right.
But now she is carrying the entire movie on her own shoulders, going up against Momoa's massive charismatic brutality.
Yeah. Momoa is a force of nature on screen. For Alcock to anchor the emotional weight of this movie against his sheer volume, that is a massive acting challenge.
She has to hold the quiet, burning rage against his loud, joyful chaos.
Exactly.
And all of these bold, incredibly risky choices, the dark tone, the indie director, the insane villain, they lead to a truly terrifying reality for the studio.
The existential stakes here are just monumental.
Let's talk about those stakes, because the source points out that Supergirl is the second test of James Gunn's rebuilt universe.
Right. Superman 2025 was the scratch build.
Yeah, after years of DC movies failing at the box office, James Gunn rebuilt everything from scratch. So Superman was the foundation.
Right.
But Supergirl must prove that DC can expand with confidence.
Which is the hardest part.
Right, you can't live in a foundation. Supergirl 2026 is building the walls and the roof. If this movie succeeds, DC's new universe is real.
And if it fails?
The whole thing could fall apart, and the writer confirms that nothing carried over from the old DCEU Supergirl.
Right, none of it.
It's a completely fresh start. That means no baggage, no old mistakes, just a brand new, powerful story.
Which is such a refreshing approach.
But let me ask you this. Is it possible that Supergirl actually carries more existential weight for the studio than Superman did?
I strongly validate that. I really do.
Really? more than Superman.
Think about it. Superman relied on 80 years of brand safety. People will go see a Superman movie just because it's Superman.
Right, it's a known quantity.
But Supergirl is testing the actual creative philosophy of this new DC universe.
I see.
When a massive studio completely severs ties with its past and bets an entire cinematic universe on an angry, breathing cousin and her super dog.
Is a massive flex.
It is. It means they are confident in their storytelling, not just their mascots. The margin for error is razor thin.
It really is. And think about what it means for the pop culture landscape. If a female-led, incredibly dark superhero film becomes the pillar that saves a failing studio.
It rewrites the entire rulebook for blockbusters.
It proves you don't need a perfectly pristine, universally agreeable icon to make $1 billion.
Exactly.
So let's recap real quick. There are 3 specific things that make this movie stand out from every other superhero film this year.
Right.
Number 1, a female superhero lead who is angry, broken, and on a revenge mission. Not a perfect hero, a real one.
Yep.
Number 2, Jason Momoa as Lobo, who is completely insane and unpredictable.
The ultimate foil.
Exactly. And number 3, director Craig Gillespie, who made I, Tanya, and Cruella, 2 films about fierce, complicated women. This director knows exactly how to tell this kind of story.
And this combination is unlike anything DC has done before.
Totally. So here's my question for you, listening right now. Do you think Supergirl will save the DC universe? Or will it be another disappointment?
It's the multi-billion-dollar question.
It really is. So let us know down in the comments, are you Team Supergirl or Team Superman?
And just to leave you with one final thought before we
Yeah,
go.
boy.
If Supergirl 2026 succeeds precisely because she is an angry, broken character seeking revenge, does that mean the era of the morally perfect, untouchable superhero is officially dead?
Oh, wow.
Are we entering an age where our cinematic saviors have to be just as damaged as the villains they fight?
Man, that is a huge question. Something for all of you to chew on.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. And hey, if you want to see my full ranking of every DC movie from worst to best, subscribe right now. That video is coming next week.